Next, we'll see about the implementation considerations related to the Adobe Forms. Now, as we all know that SAP Adobe Forms are well suited to the business processes in which the employees enter the data in a form-based solutions, and then those data are transferred automatically to the SAP systems. In simple cases, you only require the free Adobe Reader to display or fill out that PDF forms at our front end. So this is the implementation which has been provided to the business processes. Now here we have some of the operating systems which have been supported by the Adobe Forms. Now those operating systems are Microsoft Windows 2000 Server, then Server 2003, Sun Solaris, then HP UX, IBM AIX, then Red Hat Linux or Intel, and SUSE Linux or Intel. So these are some of the server operating systems which have been supported by the SAP Interactive Form, that is by Adobe. Now next we'll see about the basic functions, that are the features which is provided by the Adobe Forms. So here first feature is it helps us to create the form templates for the layout that includes logos or pictures. So with the help of the Adobe Forms, it is easier to add the logos or the pictures. Then next is it enables us to generate the documents by merging the form templates and current system data. Then it helps us to edit the forms online or offline since it is an interactive form. Then forms can be filled in advance automatically with specific data from SAP applications and then sent to the correct recipient using secure methods. Then we have automatic consistency check for forms, then activate enhanced functions such as comments. Then we have the feature for digital signatures and form certifications. Then sends completed forms to the SAP application with automatic updates of the business data. So these are the features which has been provided by the Adobe Forms. Now next we'll see a difference between the Smart Form and the Adobe Forms. Now we have seen about SAP scripts, we have seen about Smart Forms. Now next we'll see about the difference between the Smart Forms and Adobe Forms. Now we all know that Smart Form is a technology for printing the SAP data with the release of 4.70. Further, Smart Form needs to be defined with transaction Smart Forms, and the application program retrieves the data from the database and is passed to the function module generated by the Smart Form. Then the application program which collects the data has to be written. In many cases, a standard print program is copied, modified and then reused. Then it has faster access than PDF, then it requires no additional installations. So these are some of the points related to Smart Forms. Let us see what are the Adobe Forms. Here all new forms delivered with the ERP will be PDF based in future. PDF was introduced in 2002. PDF forms can be static or dynamic and can be interactive or non-interactive. So this is the first difference between the Smart Form and Adobe Forms. Then here a print program also needs to be written, that is we require a driver program. The PDF form template consuming data form its interface, that is the data which has been displayed under the PDF comes under the interface part, is called by the generated function module. The call to the web service and the PDF is physically built during the runtime. The Adobe Lifecycle Designer is used when you have lots of forms to develop. You can enhance the custom objects in the ALD, that is Adobe Lifecycle Designer, and can reduce the time needed for developing. It is slower compared to Smart Forms. Then PDF requires a J2EE stack with ADS installation and proper configuration. So these are some of the points related to the Adobe Forms. So this was the difference between Smart Forms and Adobe Forms. Now we know that there are two types of interactive forms. One with the help of Java, another with the help of an ABAP, that is with the help of ABAP Workbench. So let us see what are the two different development environments. For business processes that require close cooperation between employees, you can design interactive forms as a part of a WebDinpro application. So here we may use development environments like interactive forms in WebDinpro for Java, in SAP NetWeaver Developer Studio, and interactive forms in WebDinpro for ABAP in ABAP Workbench. Now here these forms can contain drop-down menus, push buttons, text fields and other elements that enable the user to enter the data, that is making the form as interactive. The form is generated in a PDF format which can be displayed by the user in a browser. The user uses Adobe Reader or an Adobe Acrobat to fill out the forms and saves the changes made to the form in the XML format. The SAP system extracts the data from the form and saves it to the database, which can be further processed. So this is how we save the data under the SAP system. We can use these forms in two basic scenarios, either in offline mode or in online mode. So under the online mode, the user is logged on to the SAP system when they fill the data under the form. In using the offline mode, the user is not logged on to the SAP system when they fill out that form. Once the form has been filled out, the user sends it to the issuer of that form for, by example, as an email. Then the system, that is the SAP system of that issuer, then extracts the data from the form. So this is the offline mode. So here the interactive forms can be processed either offline or online. Next we'll see the forms for printing email or fax. Now either we can send it by an email, or we can print the data, or we can send a fax. So we can use the form builder to create the PDF based print forms that we can send, or we can print it by an email, or we can fax it. So when you create this print forms, you can rely on the tired and trusted principle of the separate data retrieval and form layout processes. This enables us to make changes to either one of the processes without affecting the other. So this is the forms based on Adobe by printing or by sending an email or fax. So here we have seen two types of forms, that is one with the help of a Java and the other with the help of the ABAP workbench.